Hello there.
Okay, so much was deleted from Jurassic World Rebirth. I have actually been covering that for about the last week or so on this channel if you've been following it and keeping up with my videos, and you're probably up to date with a lot of stuff. But in this video, we are going to condense it and talk about every single deleted scene that we know of so far in Jurassic World Rebirth. I'm going to sprinkle a couple of old leaks and rumors in there as well, just to kind of spice it up and make it a little fun. And I'm going to be a little optimistic about it. Instead of just painting it as something that was cut and how it ruined Rebirth, I'm going to kind of recontextualize it. Maybe this is stuff we'll see in the future. Maybe this is stuff we'll redo. And if anything, what it does say about Rebirth is that if Universal can get out of their own way in the next movie and give Gareth Edwards another opportunity, then he may actually deliver a very, very proper Jurassic film, untouched by constant studio meddling and cuts all the way up to the release of the film. So we're going to discuss it all in this video. If you guys enjoy my Jurassic content, then consider subscribing. Let's do it.
The Atomic Fair.
Okay, so first things first, I'm going to talk about some quotes that were in Jurassic World Rebirth and a lot of the marketing and trailers that we didn't see in the final product of the film. So one of the big ones that we actually saw in the trailer, which kind of hints at a more expanded scene where they talk about what's going on at this island, is where Zora Bennett says this island was the research facility for the original Jurassic Park. It wasn't included in the final film. Instead, Martin Krebs says that the island was R&D for the original park, but they don't really go much more into detail than that. It is so disappointing to me because I thought it was such a cool concept to have this deserted, rejected dinosaur island where they had a lot of failed dinosaur experiments and stuff like that. I thought it was such a cool opportunity. But another good one was these dinosaurs were too dangerous for the original park. During the first trailer, Dr. Henry Loomis is heard saying that the species on Isle St. Hubert were too dangerous for the original park. This line, however, was never in the final movie. There was another one where it says the worst of the worst were here. So there were quite a few different quotes, like I said, that we were set to see in this movie that would have expanded the lore out that we didn't see. But going into a lot of the scenes, a big one, a really significant scene, was the Velociraptors at the gas station scene, where there was a scene that showcased Velociraptors having a much more significant role in the film. And towards the end of the movie, they corner the group at the gas station before being spooked by an even bigger threat, being the mutadons. And maybe there was even more expanded scenes from that, where maybe we would have seen a proper Raptor versus Mutadon scene, not just one where they pop up in the background and kill the Raptors. Honestly, this is on a side note, I feel like the Mutadons are like the worst thing that we have seen in the Jurassic franchise. I don't know. There's just something about them, the way that they put them in this movie. They felt like kind of forced into the movie, and like they made them a much bigger part than they were originally intended. And they also, I feel like, stole screen time away from like iconic dinosaurs like the Raptors, where the Mutadons were kind of cool in theory. They tried to make them like such a cool threat, and I don't even think the design overall is that amazing. Anyways, I don't want to be too negative about the Mutadons. They're whatever, but really, in my opinion, they kind of are like the worst thing we have seen in the Jurassic franchise in terms of like a dinosaur species. I guess they're mutated, but still. There's even a scene though in the trailer where Xavier asks Dr. Henry Loomis if the dinosaurs are raptors, and he even confirms that they are. Another big one, and this was one from the trailer, is when Dr. Henry Loomis is seen at the research facility, where there was a scene where he looks at an experiment in a small tank at the InGen research facility. And would have been really cool, man, to see him kind of break down and analyze this stuff at this park more, because he was such a dinosaur fanatic and an expert. It would have been really cool to see his take on what the D-Rex is, on what, you know, all of this stuff in the laboratory is. Even though we kind of know as Jurassic fans who are keeping up with the lore what this is, I don't think it's fully actually properly explained in the movie. There's also a two-headed Velociraptor. Now, right now, the story is that this was a placeholder for the Mutadons, but my little personal conspiracy is that that is not the case. I feel like there was just more Raptor stuff that they cut from this movie, and I feel like they kind of forced the Mutadons over the Raptors. I have a funny feeling there was some internal discussion about the fact that the Mutadons being in the film are going to be overshadowed by the Raptors, so they have to reduce the Raptor screen time to highlight the Mutadons or something. I feel like there was something like that, and I feel like it's kind of obvious when you look at the movie, and even some of the behind the scenes stuff, and even stuff Gareth Edwards has said about the movie. That's that's where I feel like we're at with that, but that's just my own personal theory. Duncan's death was also scrapped from the movie. This is some stuff we're getting to that I've covered in other videos, but Gareth Edwards filmed a scene where Duncan lived and died because they couldn't do reshoots if they needed to. So after the test audiences watched both versions, apparently they're happier seeing the version where Duncan lived, and so Universal went with Duncan living and they cut his death scene, which makes so much sense because there were people commenting on my videos who apparently saw test screenings or knew people that did and were stating all kinds of stuff about the movie, like the Spinosaurus is popping up at the end, another apparent either scrapped scene or just heavily rumored scene where we were going to see the Spinosauruses face off against the D-Rex. Also, apparently, to go with that, we were going to see the T-Rex deliver at least the killing blow to the D-Rex. That has been confirmed, and that is something we know was cut from the film. The 3 Spinos, at least at the end, which was heavily rumored about the movie, and even was coupled with stuff like Duncan dying and stuff when the leaks were coming out, seems to have either been changed or was never there or was just heavily rumored but never actualized in the film. I have a funny feeling though it was changed too, with Duncan being changed, like with his death being changed as well. They're way too knee-jerky these days with Hollywood movies. I don't get what the fuck is going on between like Captain America, them changing stuff left and right in that movie. That's over at Marvel. You have Universal doing the same thing now with the Jurassic movies. I just don't get it. Too many cooks in the kitchen. I say it time and time again. But there's also shots of the lab scene that were cut in this movie. A shot of the Distortus Rex standing over the scientist was cut. It was shown in the trailer, very famous image of the movie that they even used to scale the Distortus Rex. A lot of people assuming that the Distortus Rex in this shot was much younger because of the fact that it was clearly smaller, based on this shot that wasn't even in the final movie. A really big dinosaur mating scene, which was supposed to happen between the Titanosauruses. We either see the beginning of it or the end of it or something like that in the movie, where we kind of see them cuddling a little bit, but they don't go as far as to show the dinosaurs mating, which whatever, man, it would have been kind of cool, I guess, or different to see. I don't know if I desire to see that, but it would have been different than just seeing giant dinosaurs again and again and them trying to like overplay the whole mesmerize thing where you're supposed to be mesmerized by these Titanosauruses, even though to me the CGI was a little shoddy on them. But the scene was cool enough. I don't know if we had to see dinosaurs mating in the scene, but nonetheless that was what was supposed to happen. Why the team was retrieving the blood from the Titanosaurus. We also know some of the designs were changed for the Titanosaurus, and you can see that here between the first trailer and the final film. There was also some stuff changed in the lab where it was changed in multiple places and multiple changes were added later, which you can see here in these images below. So let me know what you guys think about all this stuff. On top of this, we have rumored stuff. So this is stuff that was rumored for the movie but never made it into the film, such as the Aztec Spinosaurus that we were set to see, which was apparently supposed to be worshipped by a tribe. This was from June 26th of 2024, a major rumor where in Jurassic World 4, the new Spinosaurus will be named after the Aztec god Chalcatilque, something like that, and live in ruins of an ancient structure surrounded by water. Other notable stuff, when we're talking about the rumors for this movie, and this could just be complete bullshit, but this is rumors, not stuff that was actually apparently cut from the film. But there was another rumor that we were going to see a sibling pair of T-Rexes that'll be sisters. One was going to be larger than the other and more intimidating, and she was going to be covered in scars and have a blind eye. I don't know if that was real or rumored, but this did come out with a whole bunch of other rumors, such as the dinosaur designs being a little different and more similar to Peter Jackson's King Kong, kind of accurate to what we saw in the movie, where they tried to go back to making the dinosaurs scary again and kind of retroactively going back to some classic dinosaur designs that focus much less on like the feathery dinosaurs and focus much more on the classic looks that we're used to from the old Jurassic films. But there was even another rumor there too, so there was a couple rumors about this sibling pair of T-Rexes as well as stuff about the Spinosaurus. There was even rumors about Jurassic World 4 featuring a Plesiosaurus along with a few other marine reptiles, which we never really saw in the film. So there's a lot of stuff to chew on in this video for you guys to digest. If you want to comment down below and let me know what you think about all this stuff. It is very disappointing what we ended up with in the final product. I'm curious to see the extended cut, but even the extended cut of the movie is probably going to have like a couple more scenes. It's probably not going to be a drastically different movie than the final product that we saw in the theaters. So comment down below, let me know what you guys think about all of these big changes, all of these cuts to Jurassic World Rebirth, especially stuff like the final fight being cut and completely changed. You can feel it when you watch the movie. That final act just feels so cut down. Let me know what you think about all this stuff, though, guys. And for this video, that is all I got. So until the next one, be safe and stay well. Bye-bye.